Hello everybody, welcome to Inside the Box. I'm Mr. Let's Paint, and we're going to be painting and taking your questions and answers and questions and stuff like that. Recommendations, whatever needs to be done, we're going to try our best to do just that if we can. And at the same time, figure out a way to deal with various predicaments that we may have in our trajectory of possibilities that we have begun, that begins in possibility. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with some, start off with some mark making. I don't really have a particular idea of sense, but I'm just kind of going to go with it. I have some crayons here, but feel free to ask any kind of questions if you want, or maybe you have a suggestion of what to add to this, otherwise, we're just going to put some paint down, or in this case, it's crayons, some crayons. We're going to put some crayons in here, and we're going to arbitrarily kind of, until we kind of find a genesis, cohesion of things that might make sense or make no sense at all. That is really the question that could be part and simple of the end conclusion, which is not always aware of what is available to us until we figure out just by going by chance. You know, let the chance prevail. Let our movements take us to another, to where we need to go, as opposed to having structural analysis already planned, set forth. We don't need to have it all figured out. I suspect that it's not necessarily needed to do so, and yet it's helpful. It's helpful to have it planned, but we need to just jump in. We're jumping in right now. Jumping in. Let me fix this part here. Sometimes we got to adjust ourselves here.
Do you need tape, John?
No, I think we'll be fine. I'm going to just have to move stuff around. So, nice to sometimes look back at what we're going on here. Let's get some paint down here. This is a wonderful color here, this kind of day glow, orange something. So, I got some kind of, there was some kind of we're taking questions too, or suggestions as mentioned here. I think there was a little plate. Do we have little paper plates that I could put some paint down, like a palette? Would be wonderful. And I got to adjust my hat just fell. My cushion is not working, but we'll get that to work. Maybe I do need to tape that up. Okay, inside the box, Mr. Let's Paint here. Let's get some, until we get the palette to get the paint going on here, let's just try some more crayons here, which is fun. Oh, hey, that's fantastic. Thank you. All right. We're live here at Julius Caesar Gallery here, and let's get some paint down. I'm just dying to put some, this is always safety-minded. We got to be safe now. So, and that's, look at that. That was a wonderful presentation of the possibilities. Let's get some paint there. Look at that. Look, oh yeah, that's kind of has a sunset feel to it. Nice little sunset, sunrise, sunset feel. Look at, I'm liking that. I like how that is going down. The feel, it's a feel-good kind of color, guys. I like orange to some degree. I think I like it. 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 Okay, that didn't quite work, but let's try this side over here. Boom. Let's try, maybe we need, what is the structural need to do things? Do we have to do everything right is the question. Okay, I just lost my my cushion. Let me try to get some cushion action here. Feel free to ask questions if you'd like, if you can. There's a little microphone there. You can ask a question if you'd like. And maybe if I go like this, that will work. All right, always modifying and trying to figure out what can be done here. So we kind of started out a cohesive feel of some sort, or not. It's not necessarily really. We have not figured anything out yet. We are in the preliminary stages, people, and maybe we can get some directive ideas. Well, I'll be happy to put any idea down, at least for the moment, but I do reserve the right to take away and knock out. Why not? Why not have that option set forth? We don't have any plans here except for to be inside the box, to be here with you right now, to be, oh, this area is just kind of missing any kind of activity. So let's kind of get some activity over there. Let's try another bigger brush if we can. Again, any suggestion? Do you see anything coming up, guys, on what's here? I'll be happy to advance the theory, advance the subject that might be part of what is that you're seeing, what you see. What can we add here? Taking suggestions here. Feel free to just spit it out. There's a microphone right there, or just yell it out. Yell. And let yourself be heard. Are you seeing anything? Anything developing right now? Is anything working for you? Are you feeling it? Is it feeling like just as if nothing's really developing? And that's understandable. That is entirely possible because really it is. It is something. Now this is a nasty color. This color I don't like. I don't like this color, but I'm going to use it anyway, and it's going to be a focal point of my composition because I am using it. But it's all right. It's all right because we'll knock it out. We can knock it out if we possibly can. That is entirely possible, and also we can mix it up. Sometimes you take those colors that we don't like, and we can mix it up if possible. That is maybe what we might want to try to do if possible, or not. Thinking sometimes we outthink ourselves, and that can be sometimes a problem. So I don't like that color. Let's try some black, straight up black. Let's get some black in here, and if we want, we take a look at this from afar. This area seems to be not really addressed. So let's pop some of that stuff on there, pop some black. Now that black's going to now mix with some of the green and some of that other color, that day glow orange. Oh, Halloween's coming up, guys. Look at that. Look at that. I'm already feeling like a Halloween feel, but I'm not going to go there. But I had that hint. There's that hint now. This is the orange and the black. So do we want to stay there? Or are we going to stay there? I don't know. I'm not really sure. But we're going to just keep painting inside the box, people. You're just going to keep on. You're going to keep painting as best we can. However, it's possible. It is entirely possible. I mean, we don't really have, restrictions is sometimes maybe one of the better things that we can have, as much as it seems against all odds, wrong or not productive or somehow prohibitive in your true zest, your true implicated thought process by means of being restricted. We're not letting the restriction stop us. Not going to let it stop us. Get a little more water in there, yeah. Get this. This is a nice Strathmore 140-pound cold press, and it's not necessarily my favorite kind of watercolor paper, as I tend to be a Arches fan, but of course the cost. This is considerably less, and I like that. I like cheap possibilities. Anyway, so we're kind of looking at the scenarios, maybe in a tunnel vision kind of way, and that's going to be something that we're going to always constantly have to deal with, and But that's really in life. We may be very much in a tunnel vision thought process anyway, but we don't know it. We don't know we're inside the box, people. We don't know that sometimes what we're having as working for us is not necessarily is a trap. You know, it could be a trap, a restrictive trap that can cause irreparable harm. No, not really. It's just painting, guys. It's just painting. It's just we're just making art. It is not necessarily anything more than just that here. Don't forget to hydrate when we're painting. Sometimes people forget about that.
Don't we see kind of a southwestern landscape?
Oh, southwestern landscape, fantastic. Let's get some cactus. What do you think? Some cactus would be good, huh? Let me get my cushion so that my head does not kind of get smacked into the bottom. Okay, let me just kind of sit on top of that. Here. There you go. Little southwestern feel. I like that. Okay. All right, let's see if I can get this guy back up and running here. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so nice. That's a hint. We have a hint here, and so let's take a look at that fantastic little southwest feel. So let's go ahead and do some more of that here. All right, let's get some more of that feel, if we can. Let's get some more, go back to our oil pastels. And this is sort of a mixed media, as you can see, which is, it's wonderful to have as a possible use. But I've never really had much luck with mixing up my mediums. But I think in this kind of scenario, I think it's kind of, it works, or it can work, because we are somehow, maybe because of the sort of so-called handicap, it frees us from having full intent. Having full intent. And maybe that's what we are always up against, is having, so much thought about what we're supposed to be doing that we never get off the board. We never get cooking. We never get moving. And maybe, so that's, anyway, so that's why I find, maybe in my case, the use of multiple colors and mediums, I end up ruining something that was working pretty good. Okay, this thing, do we have some tape? Maybe I should tape that up, huh? Tape up my box. Okay, we don't have any tape. Okay, okay, let me get some tape. This thing's bothering me. But it's okay. It's just part of the battle. Always something bothering us. There's always something that causes trouble. And so let's see if we can kind of fix this from inside, if it's possible, because it is possible to fix your life when things are not always working out. We can make adjustments. We can make fortifications. We can make adjustments. That's the end of this tape. All right, well, we're on to something. Any more tape? That'd be great. But anyway, let's go back until further possibilities here. So more tape, fantastic. Let's just get this figured out once and for all, people. Feel free to ask questions, or we're kind of on a desert landscape, has been suggested. And if you have any questions about painting or the creative process or life or whatever you need to ask, I am here. I'm inside the box, Mr. Let's Paint, taking your questions and trying to help help ourselves to some of that lovely barbecue outside, and there's some beers and some water. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to just hopefully once and for all resolve this guy here.
Do you know if the painting is good?
Yeah, that's a great question. How do we know if a painting's good? That's an ongoing battle. But we can apply certain scenarios to that thought, and that would be maybe if you were to just to avoid that whole thought altogether is by using time constraints, and if you apply that process, such as in our case here, that will help possibly. Because you're free. I think if you free yourself of these of being agonizing over if something's good or bad, and if it's great, a time constraint is a good option. How about that? I think that's your one way to look at of dealing with this is having that process, using a process. Try to avoid that thought. I think you can avoid that thought, or not spend so much time there. Maybe we need to spend some time there occasionally. Is this any good? Is that move? Wait, is that any good? How do I know if that move is any good? How do I know? How do I know? Maybe time will tell. Sometimes we got to let it incubate. Maybe things have to incubate. That is one. There's multiple possibilities, multiple equations here, and there's really, I would say, not necessarily a good succinct answer that we're all going to end up agreeing to. I think but I think if you can create a scenario where it's one and done scenario where you use time, like I'm just going to do this from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock and make this piece, and if it works, I'm not going to go back in it, and if we can kind of go about business like that, you may, over time, maybe you might get beginner's luck, or over time you might actually pick up a process or a way of success in that department. But I would avoid the thought altogether. I would avoid worrying about that. If it's going to stop you from painting, if it's going to stop you from making stuff, which I find it can. I think it stops people from doing what they really enjoy doing, and that is just spreading the paint. Spread some paint around and let the chips fly. If it looks great, someone likes it, or you like it. Of course, there's a lot of analytically thinking, looking at it. Of course, is going to be a wonderful thing to enjoy and to appreciate, because we also like to look at art. I like to look at art and I go, hey, I kind of like it. I don't like that. Overworked. It's overworked. Pretentious. It's pretentious. Oh, this is pretentious. Or it's too clever. Oh, you're too clever. Oh, you're being all clever and stuff. There's all types. There's all types of artwork out there. But to know when it's perfect, to know or when it's finished, is that's the $20 million question, I guess. I personally avoid it if I can, but I don't.
Can we be mindful of the edges of our painting? What do we think about? Should we go beyond the canvas itself?
I think so. Why not? Why not go beyond the canvas? Why not? Don't limit yourself if it's possible. That looks like a star right here. I don't know if I didn't really, purposely. I'm gonna bring that idea out. Like, yeah, that's my intent. My intent is a star. Oh, wait. Go over the edge there. That's it. Go past the limits here. Okay, so we got a star, but I don't want that star. I'm going to knock it out. I don't want anything to do with stars. I hate stars. Sorry for that break in Inside the box. I am Mr. Let's Paint. I'm inside the box right now. We are continuing on. Of course, so feel free to ask questions. There's a little microphone there. Or otherwise, just yell and ask questions. Maybe you have a suggestion on what we should do here. At the moment, it is really somewhat of a mess. And maybe we can add some clarity. Or not. And that is not necessarily the end game here. It is not something that we need to work at or strive for. It's just an option. It's an option, and maybe we should make a feeble attempt at that. A little of that. Let's just kind of do some finger painting. That's always good too. The finger painting is always kind of a neat thing. Now, I wouldn't recommend this with oil paint, but this is acrylic. And so acrylic possibly is somehow safer, though probably it's not. It's probably not safer at all. But the experimentation, guys, let's be experimental possibly with at times. I think there's something very refreshing about the experimental process of the exploratory thing that I think we could all get back to the basics of being a kid with the paint as opposed to being so involved in your intellect and your growth as a human being. I think it's sometimes can ruin our productivity, being too smart about what we're trying to do. I just think that sometimes we need to go back to the basics of sorts. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
So is it better to paint in private or public?
It is, for me, I like painting in public, but is it better? No, it's just it's a different feeling, It's just,
Why is it better for you? Why is public better for you?
it's just, I think, to tell you the truth, I have a history of painting in public for eons, painting landscapes. And so deep down, that's sort of my background is painting in the public eye. It feeds me, it makes me work, it makes me do something that's sort of there's a performance aspect, whereas if I'm in my own little box by myself, no one here, I find, it's difficult for me, I think.
Well, right now you've got the best of both worlds, right? You're like in your box.
I'm in my box, right. This is ideally what I need for a studio paint, to work in the studio, is to have people like you guys hang out with me and maybe ask questions and then maybe, just fail miserably in front of you. But it's enough of an impetus to keep me going. See, if you're not here, I'm going to just hang out and drink a beer or drink coffee or take a nap. Most likely, all of it, or.
Do you think that has to do with the thing about whether something's good or not?
Yeah.
Maybe public, time, you said time.
Yes, time.
But also public is good.
Yes. Yeah, like I find that, and that's because I come from this sort of plein air background of painting outdoors, and you have a time constraint of say 2 hours, 3 hours, and that's it. Usually because the sun goes down or whatever. You got to take a dump or something happens and you got to move the car. So there's that urgency. Now that's just me. That's my own personal battle. That ongoing battle. I have not figured anything out. We're not. I don't think you want to ever have to figure anything. I think you need to keep trying and try to understand what's going on. I don't really have it figured out, but I keep trying. I get on little moments. There's moments where I think that I have it figured out, and then it's not really the case. So now someone mentioned that this was a desert, so I'm going to put a cactus in here. Though we'll probably just move it out, I think, but maybe we'll leave it in. I don't know. I have a I keep my own battle is like, can I make an abstract painting that's interesting that does not have any kind of representational thing involved or some sort of something that we can identify with. So, you know, do I, and I guess that's because I like seeing something, you know, but maybe if I get down to my real core of what it is, I kind of like just again, the mark making of what's going on, as opposed to the, you know, what it's trying to say, you know, like, oh, I'm going to, you know, put a, you know, hamburger and french fries here and some cactus over on the right. It, you know, I guess, but then if you like hamburgers and french fries for the viewer, then it's kind of neat, I guess. So there's good and bad in that, I suppose, that we can always find someone, hopefully, can like what we're doing. That is kind of one of those things that we just, you don't know until it just kind of develops. But we are kind of, I guess, consciously and subconsciously trying to figure out what's going on here. You know, and I guess I'm aware, you know, of that battle that I'm having with painting, that, you know, should I be putting something in there to unite and convey some sort of interest, hopefully, to the viewer, that maybe because you can identify, say, that it's a you know, a cactus, or, you know, you can, you know, read into it, but maybe we, you know, of course, we don't have to stay in that section of thought, and it's always fun to just say, you know, screw that, and just go with the sort of maybe primal energies that you may have from just the knee-jerk reactions that we have. Let's try to bring those out, or just put it down however we feel to put it down. Why not be in that kind of zone, as opposed to again having a full understanding, which is valid. It's all valid. Everything's valid. Whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, whatever keeps you going, is really a scenario that's best. But it will change. I think it changes. I think we all are going to change at some point. One changes. I hope. Let's hope that we can change a little bit, or maybe sometimes it's a dramatic change. But nevertheless, there is change in the direction that you might take, at least possibly. And I think maybe you get trapped when you do have success, because then it makes it harder to change. I think the fact that that our struggles gives us more freedom to try new things, new possibilities, new scenarios, because we're not locked in, if you will, or somewhat felt in demand to continue on at a particular route, a vein, a move that's being asked of you. Inside the box, yes. Hi.
Is being so open risky? Is part of risky? What do you think about risk?
Risk? I love risk. I mean, you know, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting others, I think it's a great thing to try to do. Of course, you know, being vulnerable and you know, the failure for sure is a big advocate of that possibility, because that ultimately. I think the trick is if you can get comfortable with the failure and make that part of your process, then really the failures that would make most people stop because you're being logical about the whole thing will in effect you'll be fueled. You'll have fuel to keep going. At least that's the initial. That's sort of my thought at times. But again, I go back to being analytical, and I go back to trying to make a pretty picture. I go back to finding a way to make a buck. I go back to looking at it from afar. Oh, how do I make this better? How am I going to make this better? How am I going to make this better? Okay, how am I going to do this? Maybe some purple. How about some purple? I just it's right here. I got a lovely color purple. Let's just throw some purple down here. And let's try that out. It's entirely possible. This might be the solving equation just on a quick glance. I got a feeling that this might be it. This might do it. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. The purple. I'm going to put purple everywhere now. Gonna just do it. Come on. Purple, baby. Just put it everywhere. Look at that. Look how it's hitting up on the red. Look at that. That's a nice, bam, boom, purple. Hello, purple. Looking good, purple. Yeah, you're singing to me. You're singing now. I'm talking to you, purple. All right, let's get a bigger brush, maybe. Actually, I need some more tape. My box is about to bust out of the britches here. And maybe I could tape the top, tip-top, get it back into tip-top condition. Oh, here's the tape right here. Let's get some tape. So let's see if we can do that, if possible. Maybe some paper towels. It's inside the box. I'm Mr. Let's Paint here. Thanks again for being here live. Julius Caesar Gallery here in lovely Chicago. Lovely, lovely city. Had a lovely time here so far. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if I can get that tape up the top here if possible. All right, well, we solved one thing and now we got to solve another. Let's see. It's problem solving ultimately on the fly, and I think that's kind of really the reality that we all have is that we need to understand is that we're in a world right now and have been where we have to be able to think on the fly, make things work as best you can. However you can, even if it doesn't necessarily make any sense. That's really where we're up against, what we're up against. And so if we can just kind of incorporate this somehow, in our process, then it can be kind of it can be rewarding in some ways. By hanging in there, you gotta just hang in there if possible, guys. I recommend, even if life kind of sucks at times, or the process of making art and all that, just kind of hang in there if you can and stick with it. But if you need to take a break, guys, take a break. By all means, take a break. It can be good too. That sometimes, I don't know if that did any good, but you need to sometimes take a break, I guess. Save it sometimes. The process that we're doing, that you're doing. Maybe you do need to just breathe and go for a walk. That can be probably maybe your best move too at times. Is to just to take that another jaunt away from the daily battle that you're finding in the making of stuff. If that's what if that's what's happening for you, if that's what you're doing.
Hey John.
Yes.
When Ali was asked if it's difficult to make a painting, he said it's either easy or impossible.
Yes.
I'm getting the idea from listening to you that it's difficult, but it's okay because everything important is difficult. Where do you fall in that spectrum? I would probably be right in the middle. One day, and then the next day I would be, back and forth. I'm all over the place. I have, a need. I have a need for speed. I have a need for clarity, and maybe it's locked in on maybe what's been successful in the past, and that's that had been stuff that had been more
precision-based stuff possibly, and you know, I'm sick of that. And also, I'm sick of trying to make something perfect. You know, I'm sick of that whole thing. I think it just stops people. That's what I feel like. It just stops people. But yeah, it's luck. Well, not luck. Well, I guess it could be luck. I just think that maybe, you know, it is that. It is impossible, and yet it's easy as hell. And so that's probably where the luck factor comes in. And maybe it's a combination of your intent. Maybe the intent or the scenario that you set up has a lot to do with the success. You know, your initial intent. But then again, you don't want to. I don't want to be locked in on having an intent initially. Okay, yeah, we got to switch out the camera tape anyway. Okay, thanks again. Let's Paint TV for Inside the Box. We'll be right back, have a beer and whatnot. Okay.